Hello everyone, so we are continuing our trial of Sekhemas. Thing is here, you are giving me the creeps, birdie. Okay, so this time I want to talk to you about the end game plus level of farming, the beyond highest level of farming. This is somewhat experimental, could result in worse runs. And also, guys, I want to talk to you about this. In the previous two videos, I didn't have the time to think. So we do have a new mic, right? And I know that you guys have been long suffering. Thank you, right? I know the sound has been a little bit low. Yeah, so we do have a new mic. Let me know what you think about the new new mic, right? I hope it's a little bit better. I did take a look myself, and it does seem a little bit higher. It's not super clear, right? I guess it's also my voice is somewhat to blame, but yeah. Anyway, guys, so this is, as I said, the highest level of farming and beyond the highest level of farming. The highest level of farming I did show you. So, guys, what can we do to save more time, right? Because the more time we spend on the run, the less time we spend getting AtD, right? So we want to cut our run times even further. So what can we do? I did think of quite a few things. So these parameter thingies and the shrines take ages to interact with, right? You could skip all of those, right? But obviously that's going to cost you a few boons, right? So there is that, right? I think there are like 19 boons in the game that are permanently obtainable. Just let me quick reference. Just give me a sec. Should be like 19 or so, I think. And I'm talking about the boons that are not repeatedly obtainable, right? I'm also talking about minor boons, right? So there is 1, there is 2, there is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 17 or 18, I think, right? So, and 2 are really important, right? If you are considering this level of farming, you obviously should be face rolling the place. Hair, right? The 40% movement thingy, and the urn, because the urn will give you indirectly more movement speed, right? Take a look at this. So, for example, I have 60% movement speed for my relics, which means another 18% movement speed if I get the urn, right? I'm talking about the boon that gives you 30% increase efficiency of relics. Also, it will give me another 36% of relics dropped. So yeah, yes, I do have the hair here. So yeah, your chance of hitting said boons obviously increases when you get the boons that are permanent, and there are like 5 or 6 repeatedly viable boons which are extremely annoying, especially annoying when you get as random boons, because you want to get something bad out of the way at least, right? For example, if you would go to 20% life, you would be full health instead. That's garbage, but thing is, at least it's one out of the way. So and if you are comfortable, sacred water wise, you should buy every single permanent boon that you can, so that the chance of seeing the urn and the hair increases. So anyway, guys, you could also skip the shrines that give you buffs. I don't have one here, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Restores honor and gives you a boon. These parameter thingies, they take a lot of time, so those 2 can be skipped. The boss loot can be skipped because the bosses take, again, a rather long time, about 5 seconds or so, I guess, to drop the loot, just like these. That can be skipped as well. You cannot plan ahead. What I mean by that is, act like, there is, red smoke, I think. No. Black smoke. You can see 1 room less further ahead thingy, right? That's what I'm talking about. Just what I mean by that is, just don't take a look at the 2 rooms ahead, 3 rooms ahead, whatever it is, right? Just take a look at the next room and immediately click on something without thinking too much. But obviously that can lead you in ugly situations, like where whenever you get an affliction, you get another affliction kind of thing forced upon on you. That can happen, right? So these all come with downsides, right? The end game farming that I gave you, I think, was the sweet spot, right? These can save us time, but these can also cost us time, right? These can also cost us resources. Why? Because if you keep skipping the perimeters and the shrines, right, then that means you are going to lose out on a few boons, and maybe one of those boons could have been the urn or the hair, right? Your chance of hitting the urn and the hair will lower, right? And obviously, hair and urn are things that save you runtime. So you are saving some time to not interact with them, but then that could happen. And if you also include the boss loot skip, boss loot would be like 500, 600 or so sacred water, which would mean like 2 boons or so. That is that, right? And obviously, when I say boss loot skip, if a divine drops, obviously go back, right? But normally they just drop garbage, right? Just skip. Not planning ahead and clicking on the next room that is the best for you is another thing that will save us time. Don't pick up the sacred water that drops from the monsters is a thing that saves time. So for example, guys, I shoot an arrow here, there is a guy that died here and he dropped a few sacred water, right? I just do not go there, right? If it's on my way, right, obviously pick it, right? But don't change your route to grab the few sacred water that dropped from monsters. Don't pick up any uh, relics that occupy 4 spaces. That's obvious, right? That's actually even the lowest level of farming. But also, do not pick up anything that occupies 3 spaces, 3 by 1 or 1 by 3. Why? Because guys, I have found them to not sell, right? Earlier in the season they could, but in the later season they just don't sell. So as I said, this is the end game plus farming method, right? You can pick them up earlier on. For example, high honor resistance and merchant choice, etc., could be valuable, but now they just don't, right? I have picked up hundreds of them, and I'm talking about even the tiered ones, right? So 4 square relics, don't pick them up, and 3 square relics, don't pick them up, and 2 square relics, right? 1 by 2 or 2 by 1, only pick up the tiered ones, right? That's also going to save a lot of time. Don't pick up any bronze keys. Pick only a few silver and gold keys. Why? Because you kind of don't need more than like 2 or 3, right? Because at the last boss room, there will be like a few worth your time. Even the silvers are not really worth your time. So if you again go for the highest level, just don't pick up any silver keys either. Just pick up like 2 or 3 gold keys. That should be sufficient, right? And the most important one is actually 1 gold key, right? You wanna open the spectrum cache if it's there, right? But the additional ones can be a few, like Arcanist. Maybe you could hit the divine there, so picking up 2 is not really bad. And as you can see, I'm not following my own advice this run. I did interact with the perimeter, and I do have quite a few keys. And at the end of the run, guys, that is also something that cuts into your runtime, right? Not exactly into your runtime, but the reward caches after killing Zarok. You shouldn't be also spending too much time there if you want to get your hands as many ATDs as you can. So open the Spectrum cache, obviously, right? Very valuable. Has an expected value of like above 30 divine, considering ruby is valuable and sapphire and emerald are less so. The average would be around 30-35 divine or so. So that's very valuable. Obviously open that and open the Arcanist caches and be done with it, right? Do not spend too much time in there. You could also open the time lost caches, which what I do is I open the time lost caches, I grab the emeralds only, and I sell them unidentified at 1 chaos a piece. But if you are considering endgame plus level of farming, you could also leave that, right? Do not go into the jewels. And yeah, I would say that would be about it. I did try this a few times, and in the one of the luckier ones where I did get the hair early, it was about a 12-minute run, and I'm not the best clicker on the face of the world by far, right? Far from it. So, I think it can be brought down to, 10 minutes would be really quite an ask, but I think it can be brought down there. But the problem, as I said, is with these rounds, they are risky, right? You do skip quite a few boons. You can find yourself in uncomfortable situations. So these all come at a risk. Sadly, I just couldn't do the filter for the bronze keys thingies because they have their own weird category, right? I couldn't hide the bronze keys without hiding the silver and the gold keys as well. I didn't want to do that. I just show on the ground and I just click on them, right? But for the end game, actually, just showing the gold keys is, I would say, definitely fine. Just showing the seal and earn relics, 1x2 and 2x1 relics, is definitely fine. Yeah, if you could do that. So yeah, if you do all of these, I would say combined they could cut like, depending on your runtime, obviously 4 or 5 minutes maybe. But as I said, it's not a strict profit thing, right? For example, you could skip them and I could not skip them, and I could hit hair and you could not, right? And in the end, maybe I'll be faster than you. And you could also have a more uncomfortable run, right? Imagine at the beginning of the run, one merchant choice is being slapped on you, right? So these are, you should do these with caution, right? But they would obviously save time. But the question, if they are going to save you time over the long run, because guys, imagine if the run goes very bad, right, and you actually die, then that means a lot of time and the 3 divine for the base is wasted, right? If you are trying this kind of farm, you shouldn't really be dying, but very early double affliction can go really, really nasty, could kill. Yeah. So try these at your own risk, I would say. But you could also do some of them, right? But thing is, I did try it a few times, and it becomes too much zooming around, and also it does give you an uncomfortable thing because, for example, normally I get the urn most of the time. I did miss the urn like 6 times in a row or something. So I guess the shrines and the perimeter thingies add up, right? Because normally I'm able to find it, and when I was doing that, I wasn't able to find it. But I think I was a little bit unlucky there. I should be able to find it every once and then instead of never. But yeah, so tell me what you think about these, and yeah, we can maybe arrive at a fully optimizing. So this is the end game plus. If you do all of these, you are gonna save time. But is it worth it? Who knows? Have to try. And I'll see you in the next. Bye bye.